Hey, before we get started, please like, please comments. I look at your likes, I look at your comments. I feel better about myself a lot of the time, half the time. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about hate. Hate, yeah, it's just a really broad subject that a lot of people are affected by every single day, obviously. But the way we deal with hate is something that I haven't addressed in depth very much. So I've seen people who have individuals who hate them, and they make that person's hate their entire world. I think I've been guilty of this in the past where somebody has hated on me and I make it so much of a bigger deal than it really is. Because here's the thing, when you turn off your computer, a lot of the hate you experience, if we're talking about the realm of the internet, it goes away magically. Rarely do we have people who actually show up in our lives who hate us, who formerly hated us exclusively on the internet. So that fact alone gives you basically all the power. But I wanted to convey the message that no matter who you are, for the most part, you're going to be hated. Jesus was hated. Martin Luther King was hated so much someone killed him. Abraham Lincoln was hated so much someone killed him. Those were mostly great men. I say that because nobody's perfect. Like, obviously Martin Luther King had his problems. Abraham Lincoln probably had his problems. Jesus, whatever. Anyway. So what I'm saying is, if your skin is white, someone hates you. If your skin is black, someone hates you. If you're a liberal or a conservative, somebody hates you. So you gotta accept, if you want to be happier, you should probably accept the fact that no matter what you do, you're right and you're wrong for the most part. Okay, somebody's gonna agree with you, somebody's gonna disagree with you. Now, where you are self-destructive, where you betray yourself, where you are not your own friend, but your own enemy, is when you obsess over these things. Where you have such a big ego that you can't handle that. Yeah, some people hate you. And that's okay, because people are allowed to hate you. In fact, people should hate you because that's just the normal cycle of life. Everybody has their predators and their prey. My point is, we live in a world where people attack each other. We live in a world where people are kind to each other. We live in a world where there's positive and negative. And if you can't accept the negative, I don't know how you think that you can survive in this world. You should expect the negative. If anything, you should embrace the negative because it's going to make the positive even better when you experience the positive. I'm the type of person who knows how to appreciate what he has, because I almost killed myself a long time ago and I considered everything after that to be bonus. I had loaded guns in my own head and I said, if I live beyond this day, every day is a blessing. Every day I'm lucky to have. I haven't lived that way because I've been emotional. I've been extremist. I've had extreme opinions about people and waged wars. But here's the frustrating thing about a lot of people who are hateful online. It's not legitimate. That is frustrating. A lot of people who are hateful online are pretending. Like, for instance, a while back, there was someone who called themselves Outback Zach. They made hateful videos about me, and then I met them in person and they acted like they were my friend. I didn't act like I was their friend. In fact, I outright rejected them because when I say I don't like somebody, I don't like them, you know? So there's this thing online, like for instance with Rice Gum, where I made negative videos about Rice Gum, and Rice Gum followed me on Twitter. Apparently he thought we were bros or something. And I expressed to him that I was not interested in that person because when I expressed I didn't like him, it was genuine. But you have a lot of people who will say they hate me or say they hate other people, and then when actually confronted by that person, they'll be like, oh, I'm actually a fan. And this is frustrating to me, because I have seen many people who claim to be hateful towards me wind up being supportive down the line, or apologizing down the line, or generally revealing that they weren't genuine in the original position. So it turns the internet into this big, fake, sad waste of time as far as negativity goes. But my point, and what I hope you get from all this, is that yes, people hate you, but people also care about you. I mean, there's charities for that reason. Charities that will help basically anybody who has a specific problem, regardless of your personality or your political views, etc. So there's someone who cares about you because there are always people to help in certain contexts around the world. you shouldn't feel so alone, because life is a struggle. We struggle from the moment we're born. If you've ever held a baby, you understand that life is pain in many instances. But none of this is really centered on my exact point. My exact point is you control your happiness, at least in this context. And the context is we choose who we bring into our life most of the time. So if we can choose who we bring into our life, why do we keep around people who don't make us feel happy? Why do we focus on people who don't make us happy? My Patreon community, the Onision Patreon community, that has taught me a lot of lessons about what really matters. It's not about views, it's not about numbers, it's about the people behind those numbers and the true meaning of this all. Anyway, I've learned that time is so much better spent on people who are positive, considerate, and loving. Lastly, when I see people who are the most successful in life, people who are the happiest in life, I almost never see them acknowledging anyone negative. Isn't that interesting? The happiest people avoid the negative people. So maybe that's something a lot of us should do as well. If you see someone trying to start a fight, one of the worst things you could probably do in that situation is go down on their level and actually sort it out with them. You responding to them going on their level, that's what they want. And my question to you is, where do you want to go in life? Do you want to go to a place where you're constantly battling it out with people trying to start a fight with you? Or do you have your own life goals in mind? Do you want to sever the chains of negativity and walk your own path based on your conditions and not the conditions of people who want to see you fail? Anyway, again, thank you for commenting, thank you for liking this video. I look forward to looking through quite a few of the things you guys have to say. Have a wonderful day.